As I mentioned in previous videos, and as you would know if you read the book, the metadimensional ends with the last chapter is named Episode 1. And as I said, the reason I call it Episode 1 is because uh, if this theory has value, and I believe it does, then this isn't the end. Like there has to be uh, a lot more to. There's probably a lot more to investigate. Uh, it's a whole new uh, field paradigm. I don't know if it's true. Um, and there are things which I didn't have the capacity to, to completely uh, cover or to investigate, or I didn't have the skills, and the book was already quite long. So, and but if anyone is interested, it's definitely up for grabs. Like this there's room here for people in this theory for people to pick up from where it ends, where it leaves, and continue to develop it. And the specific topic I'm talking about is this whole notion of animal intelligence and the difference between uh, animal intelligence and human intelligence, and and, and not describing it, but understanding why it's there. Now, if you don't know anything about the theory, you'd say that the reason humans are the intelligence of humans are different from that of animals is because they have bigger brains and therefore they are smarter. Um, but that's a physicalist account of reality. This is an account that thinks that experience and consciousness, all that stuff, comes from like it all emerges from the brain. Experience itself emerges from the brain. Um, it is produced by the brain, and then when you're talking about so you can the same way it produces experience, it can also produce intelligence. That's how a physicalist account of reality would see it. But the theory argues that that's not the case. The theory argues that experience is fundamental. There's no brain producing experience. And the thing is, experience comes with intelligence built in. It is I made several videos about that. This semantic context that we inherit through this thing that is our experience, which is, I call it the dimension of experience, in which I argue that because we are interacting with each other, it means that it's the same element in all of us. So we share this kind of like understandings of what are the atoms of semantics, what it is to like, to dislike, to hate, to deduce, to agree, to disagree, to be jealous, to be happy, all that and much more. All of it is shared by all the experiential agents that interact, and that's basically intelligence. Like this understanding of the experiential movement. This is intelligence. It's not a neural network making calculations. Intelligence is the ability to understand, and that ability doesn't need the brain to exist. It exists in all of us. That's what the theory argues. So, insofar as animals are experiential agents, and then they share that same semantic context. They share the same understanding. They are as intelligent as we are. Insofar as there is something that's like to be them, and they are interacting with us while being experiential. And now that's not necessarily the case that that all animals or all living things there's something that's like to be them. For example, blood cells. Maybe there's nothing that's like to be a blood cell. Uh, a neuron. Maybe there's nothing that's like to be a neuron. A single cellular life form. Maybe there's nothing that's like to be a single cellular life form. I don't know what scope, what size, what complexity uh, indicates that there's something that's like to be something. I mean, the theory argues that it rejects solipsism. Like it assumes that there's something that's like to be something other than myself, but it doesn't say what of what I perceive is, what of the entities that I perceive are experiential agents. For example, if we're looking at artificial intelligence, there's no reason for me to suspect, looking at its architecture, that there's something that's like to be it. There's no component in it that does that. But still, if I'm looking at animals, let's say my dog, then I definitely see something that looks experiential. I can understand. If I'm thinking, once I understand that my dog understands the same semantics that I do of the of happiness, of what it means to be a hero or whatever, then all the archetypes, all that, then the question therefore becomes like, why am I what's this difference between my intelligence and theirs? Like, if you go down to the to the to the core components of intelligence, my dog has the same components. He understands the same way. His understanding is my understanding, but still there's this difference between me and my dog, and I'm trying to understand why that is. It's not big. It's not like there's a bigger brain will make it so that there is more of the that the semantic context somehow changes. It's the same semantic context. Maybe it's not being actualized in actions that my dog, does, like inside his thoughts. He's doing the same. Like when he let's say barks at the noise, he's thinking about a whole story about a heroic whatever. But I don't know, like maybe the brain, I tend to think that the brain, the way of what the brain does is it captures the semantics into an abstract realm, and what therefore it means is that the animals, like my dog, are closer to the true nature of reality, while me, because of my big brain, I'm stuck in fabrications that my brain produces for me to reflect on. So like it's not that I'm more intelligent. It's not that I'm more intelligent. I'm more confused actually. While a dog or a cat they see reality as it is, and they don't see a point in understanding the things that we're concerned about, because they see the reality as it is. They're more in touch with the. I mean, it's possible. It's possible that all this thing that we call intelligence is actually confusion, experiential confusion. So I don't know. I mean, the thing is, the theory argues that there's something that's that it calls experiential selection. So if the experience of dogs was unhappy in its situation and wanted to be smarter, it could have changed the genealogy of dogs to have bigger brains. Like that's something that experiential agents should be capable of doing according to the theory, but they don't do it. They remain with the same brain size and the same behaviors. And the question is, what's actually going on there? And I'm not sure. I mean, we can't pick into even. I can peek even into your experience. I don't know what's the experience of a dog, or a cat, or a mouse, or a chimp. But maybe somehow we're gonna make some progress there. And I don't know. I don't know what's to discover there, but I definitely think that there's more to discover in that domain.